Hello everyone. Today we're going to turn the ordinary our normal photo into it's kind of a low-key profile photos, and then eventually we're going to make the self-promotional video using Animate CC, something like this. Art, design, and life, and repeating. Okay. So please don't forget to subscribe and then set the notification of my video. So let's get started. Okay, so I took multiple photos of myself. I try to make some kind of a low-key photos, but I don't have the light and then studio settings in my house. So I try to take some photos using just a one light source. So I try to make some kind of a high contrast photos, and then on the in front of a really clean wall. I tried. So I took multiple photos, some silly faces, and then laughing or smiling, some lot of different things. Okay. Actually, I took more than this. Okay. But I ended up uh, using this one. So this is the photo I'm going to use. So let's try to make it kind of a more dramatic. So first the thing is, I just go to a images menu adjustment in Photoshop. Um, excuse me, black and white. Okay, I'm gonna make it as a black and white photo, and the images menu again, adjustment and brightness and contrast. Let me give you some more contrast, maybe a little brighter, or even more contrast. Okay. And also I used this under adjustment, and then let's try to use the curves. So make it a little bit darker, more contrast. So I think it is okay. Okay, now also I don't want to keep this kind of a white kind of reflection on my right eye. So let me sample the color around my eyes. I think this is not pure black. Now let me zoom in a little bit and fill it in. Okay, so it looks okay. And then um, I wanted to create some kind of square images so I can upload it on my Instagram. So first thing is I wanted to fill this area in black or the kind of same dark color. So let me unlock this layer. I'm going to move it to right somewhere here like this. Okay, and then let me use my paintbrush tool, and still so my foreground color is this almost kind of pure black thing. And then let me make this brush size much bigger, maybe even bigger. It's too big. Okay, looks good. So let me just fill this whole area just like this. Okay, so it's not too bad. And then I'm going to crop it into the size I'm looking for. It's gonna be 600 by 600 pixel. So I don't want to keep that top. Maybe a little bit. So I can hide kind of the pile of papers behind me. Okay, so I think it looks okay now. Maybe a little bit more. And hit the return. Okay, so that's the image I'm going to use. Okay, if I want to make it a little bit smoother, maybe you can go to filters menu and blur, maybe a little blur more. Maybe this is too much, but yeah, it's up to you. But still you can adjust your image a little more. So first, I need to save it as a JPEG file, save as, or save for web, really doesn't matter. I'm going to save it as JPEG file, and let me name it as just me.jpg here. Okay, now open Animate CC file. Size is going to be 600 by 600 pixel. Okay, and HTML5 canvas created. Okay, so first I'm going to set my stage color into black, so black background, and then let me import the image, which is the me.jpg, which is in my library, and let me drag and drop to here. Okay, let me double check the location. Yep, so 0 by 0. Okay, so I'm going to rename this layer as a selfie. Okay, now let me create a new layer. I'm going to type the words. This time I'm gonna type art, design, life. And then the font I was using was, that's the one I downloaded from the website. That was, oh, I don't know how to read it. Bebas Nua. Okay, that's the font I was using. And then on flush right, then the size was maybe 110, or let me try 120 point. Okay, and then I want to control the lettings, the space between the line, a little bit closer, like this. Okay, so art, design, life. Okay, and then since I'm going to animate the individual letter separately, so Command B first, and then before I apply some other stuff, what I want to do is I want to align my letters a little bit better. So let me lock my bottom layer, and then art, the three letters, the first word on top line, I'm going to move it like this, and life is okay. Okay, so now select everything, then go to modify menu, then timeline, distribute to layers. So now you can see that there are multiple layers and each layer has one letter. Okay, and next thing is I'm going to change the order. So it's from the bottom, art. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the order. So ART from the top to bottom. So ART, art. So same way I'm going to do, let me pull this up a little bit so I can view all the layers. Art is done. So design. So DESIGN, design. And the life. Life. Okay, so it looks good. So once you're done, maybe I can make some kind of animation as it is, but normally what I do is I select all the letters and I break apart, because the font I'm using, maybe your end user may not have this. Then it could be possibly replaced by the system default font. So let me break apart. So it's gonna be okay now. And then after this, I want to add one more layer. This will be and symbol layer and the symbol. So let me type on this layer and the symbol. And then I really don't like this and the symbol of this typeface, so I'm gonna use different one. The one I was using was where are you? Rockwell. And then the color I was using is this. It's a kind of it's my favorite, yellowish or the orange color. Now let me break apart, modify, break apart. Let me zoom in a little bit. I think size is okay, but I want to make it a little bit smaller. Maybe about this size. Okay. Okay. Art, design, and life. It looks good. And let me have one more thing. On top layer, this layer, I'm gonna have a square. I'm just adding some kind of little ornament because this is a kind of a really basic black and white photo. So I want to give some kind of a little more spice or seasoning. Maybe it may work as a period. Okay. So art, design, and life. Let me move this whole thing up a little bit. Okay. So I'm done with the layout. Now it's time to apply some animation. So first the thing is, my plan is I want to make my background photo, my selfie, so fading in first, and then text animation afterwards. So let me select my selfie, unlock this layer, and then highlight the 1 second mark, then insert the keyframe, then place your mouse cursor somewhere in between, any frame's fine, and hold down the control key or right click and choose create classic twin. Now move your playhead to the very beginning and click on your image, your background image, which is my selfie, and I'm gonna change my color effect, choose the alpha. So from 0 to 100. So kind of fading in. So that's what I'm looking for. Okay, now select all the letters including and the symbol and the square. Then drag it, move it to a 1 second mark, the whole thing. Okay. Now from the very bottom, very first layer, the first letter, let me assign maybe about 10, almost 10 frames. So highlight frame number 35 in this case. On letter T, the bottom letter, and scroll all the way up, hold down the shift key and click on frame number 35 and insert the keyframe. Okay. Now highlight the top layer, click on the layer, scroll down, hold down the shift key and click on the letter T layer, the bottom layer. Now place your mouse cursor somewhere in between 1 second and frame number 35 anywhere and any layer. Hold down the control or right click and choose create classic twin. Okay, now we can make some change. Okay, oh, and then before we do that, let me do this. Let me select all layers again by holding down the shift key. And then in your properties panel, there's an easy option. I will set this to -100, -100. Okay, so for now, still nothing's gonna happen. So let me highlight um, first keyframe of my very bottom letter and scroll up, hold down the shift key and select my last letter, the first keyframe of my last letter. I'm not selecting the very top two for now. Okay, and then move it to the left out of stage like this. So fading in and then all the letters coming in. So this is what's happening now. Don't worry about the and symbol and then this period. Now from here, let me scroll down. So letter T comes first and next letter R will be coming in after, but I want to overlap a little bit. So highlight the letter R, your second letters layer, and then select the entire segment by keep pressing your mouse button, and I'm going to move it to the right just 2 frames more like this. Now third layer, move it 2 more frames. Next 2 more, next 2 more, 2 or 3 more frames. So we're building some kind of stairs. So I will repeat the same steps until I complete the last letter on top layer. I have a few more, 2 more, and 2 more, and 2 more. I will do the end symbol and period after. So this is happening. Fading in. It looks a little weird, but which is okay. So after that, I want to have my end symbol. So for this end symbol, what I want to do is I want to move it maybe a little more like this, and then highlight the first keyframe of your end symbol, this one, and then let me move it out of stage. Then let me change the alpha value to 0, or I'm gonna put it back to the inside. So it's gonna be something like this. Okay. Then last one, this period, square. I want to start to have this after. So maybe a somewhere here. And then first keyframe of this period, let me make it bigger. And then change the alpha value down to 0. So it is something like this. Okay, so everything's almost done. The problem is nothing's left. So at the end, we are seeing only this, the yellow square, the period. So in order to keep everything on the last keyframe here, so in my case, my last frame is frame number 75 or 76 here. So leave the square one. From your second layer from the top, highlight the same frame, the last frame, scroll all the way down to the bottom, hold down the shift and highlight that frame. Then insert keyframe button. So we're almost done. Fade in. See? Art, design, life, and period. Okay, so let me preview it. Let me test the movie under control and test the movie in browser. Okay, so it looks good, but by default it just kind of repeats and repeats and repeats again, and then I want to make it stay a little longer. So let me go back to my Animate CC. Then it's almost a 3-second animation, so I want to allow to have the maybe 3 more seconds, like the 6-second mark. So I highlight frame number, the 6-second mark frame on your bottom layer all the way up. Hold down the shift key and select the top layers frame, 6-second mark, and insert the keyframe. Then let me preview it again. Control, test the movie in browser. Art, design, and life, 1, 2, 3, and replay. Okay? Okay, so that's it. So I hope that you enjoy this, and please don't forget to subscribe and then set the notification for my latest video. And thanks for watching. See you next time.